Welcome to our video on the ABCs of coping from Dialectical Behavior Therapy, or DBT. This skill focuses on reducing emotional vulnerability by maintaining long-term emotional health and resilience. Instead of waiting for emotions to become overwhelming, the ABCs of coping are all about proactive strategies to keep ourselves balanced, both mentally and physically. When we feel vulnerable emotionally, whether it's from stress, exhaustion, or neglecting our needs, we're more likely to get swept away by intense emotions. The ABCs of coping gives us a roadmap to help prevent emotional crisis before they start. Let's dive in. ABC stands for Accumulate Positive Experiences, Building Mastery, and Coping Ahead. These three components work together to help you manage stress and maintain emotional resilience over time. Each focuses on a different aspect of emotional well-being, whether it's increasing positive experiences, building confidence in your abilities, or planning for challenging situations. The goal of ABCs is to reduce your vulnerability to emotional upheaval so that when difficult moments arise, you're better equipped to handle them with balance and clarity. Let's start with A for Accumulate Positive Experiences. One of the most effective ways to improve your emotional resilience is to regularly experience positive emotions by engaging in positive experiences. By adding enjoyable activities to your day-to-day life, you build up a reserve of positive experiences, which can act as a buffer against stress from negative emotions. There are two parts to this: short-term positive emotions and long-term positive emotions or experiences. For short-term positive emotions generated by positive experiences, the goal is to engage in activities that bring you joy and satisfaction on a daily or weekly basis. Think of things like spending time with loved ones, engaging in hobbies, watching a favorite show, or even eating your favorite meal. These activities don't have to be elaborate, just something that makes you feel good in the moment. Long-term positive emotions that are brought up by having positive experiences are about living a life in line with your values. This involves working towards meaningful goals and making sure you're living in a way that reflects what truly matters to you. When you're actively engaged in creating a fulfilling life, it's easier to withstand life's challenges. By regularly accumulating positive experiences that bring up positive emotions, you build up your emotional resilience, making it easier to cope with difficult emotions when they arise. Next, we have B for Building Mastery. This part of the skill is all about creating a sense of competence and accomplishment in your life. When you consistently do things that challenge you and help you grow, you build confidence in your ability to handle those challenges, which in turn strengthens your emotional well-being. The idea here is to do something each day that helps you feel a sense of accomplishment or competence, even if it's small. It could be learning a new skill, working toward a personal goal, or completing a task you've been putting off. For example, you might decide to spend time improving a skill at school, studying a hard subject, practicing a hobby like playing an instrument, or tackling a challenging home project. By setting small, achievable goals and working toward them regularly, you increase your feelings of competence and mastery. This helps build resilience because you are more capable and you feel that every day in your life. The more confident you feel, the better you'll feel at managing your emotions. The final part of this skill is C for Cope Ahead. Sometimes we know that a difficult or stressful situation is coming up, and anticipating that situation can cause a lot of anxiety. Cope Ahead is about planning in advance for those situations so that you feel prepared to handle them in the best way possible. To cope ahead, first, identify any upcoming situations that might be emotionally challenging for you. This could be a difficult conversation, a stressful event, or even a situation that tends to trigger negative emotions. Once you've identified the situation, imagine yourself successfully navigating it. Visualize how you'll manage your emotions, what coping skills you'll use, and how you'll respond to those challenges. By mentally rehearsing how you'll handle the situation, you reduce anxiety and give yourself a concrete plan to follow. It's a way to remind yourself that you have the tools to cope, even in difficult moments. Cope Ahead can help you feel more prepared and less vulnerable to intense emotions when the situation arises. Now that we've covered the individual components of Accumulate Positive Experiences, Building Mastery, and Coping Ahead, let's talk about how they work together. Each of these strategies helps reduce emotional vulnerability in a different way. By accumulating positive experiences, you give yourself a foundation of joy and satisfaction. By building mastery, you strengthen your confidence and competence. And by coping ahead, you reduce the anxiety of unknown or challenging situations. Together, these skills help you create a balanced, resilient emotional life. You're less likely to be overwhelmed by negative emotions because you've built a solid emotional reserve, a sense of competence, and a plan for handling stress. Practicing the ABCs of coping regularly can help you feel more in control of your emotions and better able to handle challenges.